All right. Hopefully that's picking up the mic well. Oh. All right. Nice. I need to get some gold silk for the Iron Man project. Awesome. Good. You can hear me now. I'm glad OBS is working. I don't know why. Why this stuff like decides it's just gonna be so much of a pain in the butt, but you know. I mean, what can you do? Some housekeeping here. So it's probably gonna be just a shorter night. Why are you like you're not copying what I asked you to copy? There we go. Still not feeling that great, but you know, figured I got YouTube or Streamlabs kind of working, so might as well actually make a presence. That's not a bad price. Is it a full 1K, or was it the those 750 or the 500? Okay, there's that part. Full description now. Nice, that is a really good price then. Full 1K spool for that. That's not bad. Minnesota Maker, welcome. It's today. No, I'm not doing slow mode. I don't know why this thing was like. It's like it wants to just completely redo everything now. Ugh. It's like it completely forgot all my settings, all my everything. I mean, I know I changed to a different service, but like, hey, OneRes, uh, like before with Streamlabs, like I just go into the YouTube Classic, schedule a stream, wouldn't have to change anything else about it because it would pull from the live stream, which is usually the my Saturday Night Lives, and then I just hit in Streamlabs go. So figured it would do the same thing, and no, now they changed they're like forcing me to the new interface. It doesn't want to link up correctly. They changed my stream key like 3 times, even though I've had the program off and I haven't done anything since last Saturday, and I got it to work. It changed my key again, and then this wouldn't link. I don't understand what they're doing. So if anybody's got any suggestions, I'm open to it because this stuff drives me nuts. There's my Saturday logo. Well, Streamlabs was having all those crazy issues where it wouldn't even connect, so now I'm just on full out regular OBS. I know it looks the same. It took me a while to get this layout, and I had to like have both of them open and copy paste a lot of the same code. So it's using Streamlabs code, but it's in OBS. But like my stream key, YouTube versus what I was tracking, it changed it again on YouTube for like no reason. It's weird. Yeah, and you know, it's weird because Fun King was just popping up that Logitech just bought out Streamlabs. So I don't know what kind of changes they're gonna make. If it's gonna make it better, worse. Well, so far OBS is actually really. I mean, it didn't take me. It wasn't painful to get it set up. It's just a lot of copy paste the code from one side to the other so that the layout's the same. I get all my pop-ups, you know. That part was a little interesting. But I mean, I've rebuilt all my scenes. I've got it exported. I've got it pulling data. It's streaming. I mean, it's doing a lot better than Slobs or Streamlabs, you know, OBS. It just kept having issue after issue, but yeah, I'm curious what they're going to change because Logitech was trying to get into the, you know, live streaming, especially with the gaming contests and different things like that. So now that they have a dedicated platform, that's what it's supposed to be for, is for YouTube gaming side. But you can use it. I mean, it is just OBS, but I mean, that's kind of like if you read some of their stuff, that's like the background of what they wanted to do. I wonder what they're going to change. I would love for them to make it where the features worked and it stops crashing. And maybe you can do something like this OBS did, where it does a test, gives you the optimal settings like Twitch does. But Slobs just doesn't want to do anything. It's just, hey, pick it. We don't care. But then if you don't pick the right thing, it doesn't work. I like the intuitiveness of Streamlabs, of how easy it was to get the layouts, the alerts, different things like that. Because like there's still stuff on here with OBS that like you have to find this other plugin, then you got to find this other person if they wrote this, and then just to get it to work where it was kind of like all integrated into Streamlabs and you could do a lot of stuff. Like now that I've cut myself off of Streamlabs, I don't have a way of doing giveaways easily because me and Nightbot don't get along. I can't figure out how to do their form of it. But the Streamlabs version of their giveaway was super easy. So well, I like their webcams are, there's a big range. There's good ones, bad ones, but just like any company. But for the most part, Logitech webcams have been really good. I've got their gaming mouse that I've had for way too long. I think it's way past its lifetime, but I liked it because it's got the base station where I don't have to keep putting batteries in it, and I could just recharge it. But the keyboard part died. But now, you know, and I've got a new wireless keyboard because the keys just would stop responding. But now it's like this mouse just randomly double clicks. Instead of me clicking one thing and then moving over, all of a sudden I'll click once and it'll just go, oh, but this time it's going to be a double click for like no reason. And I've resynced it. I've uninstalled it completely, reinstalled it completely, multiple reboots. I don't know what Microsoft did with the Windows 10 1903 patch, but man, it's like I just keep finding more and more things that well, I do have it on the beta auto adjust, even though it's on the constant bitrate to try to help, because the settings on OBS are higher. It's trying to stream at 60 frames a second instead of the standard 30, which is what I thought, or that's all I had Streamlabs set up for. But it's also using a lot less of my overall, you know, I don't know. It is saying it's using about 31% of my CPU. Yeah. I mean, this mouse is the, was it MX 5500 series. So it's at least 5 years old. It's probably actually going 7 years, maybe. I guess, I don't know. But it's a great mouse. That's the main reason I got it, because it's got I got the separate wheel here that can go clicks, and then I've got, it's hard to get it in focus, but I got 2 more buttons right here. I don't use the search button that's right there, but you know, and it fits nicely in my hand. Well, but I don't think it's the click actuator. I think it's a problem with a driver, because I can click. Oh, that's a double click. And it just like it randomly just picks it, but I can do the same motion, like especially when I'm doing email for work. I'll highlight a bunch of emails, and then all of a sudden, as I've been clicking for 5 minutes straight, you know, going down the list or whatever, if I've got a lot of data or whatever I'm doing, and then randomly I'll see a pop-up come up, and it's like, oh, are you sure you want to open all of this? Why? No, because I didn't double click, but it registered a double click for whatever reason. And it does it randomly, and it's very irritating because it's not like real consistent, like random. It's random. It's like most of the time it's at least 5-10 minute gaps. But if it just sits here like it is now, it doesn't do anything. It never detects it like there's a double click or just some random click. It's only when I use it. And occasionally it does the same with the right mouse button. That's why I think it's like a driver sync time, because sometimes it goes stupid on me for no reason. But anyway, that's enough about my mouse troubles. All right, so now that everything is working and all, I am gathering money for, I know it's got the MP CNC lowrider, which is always, you know, it is a project that I want to do. So if you would like to contribute, that is awesome. But I'm going to have to switch that bar out, because the next one that I'm trying to do is the Iron Man Prusa Bear clone conglomeration. The incredibly awesome color red rails, which actually, you just get them again because they are beautiful. Sorry if there was butt in the camera. Packaged incredibly well. I mean, not that I really expected them not to, but just, I mean, it's that, it really goes well with the theme. So this is a standard normal like red cup bowl. I mean, look at that. And it's the shiny red. I mean, camera doesn't really do it justice. Yeah, because that style color now with it darker looks a bit better. But I mean, the ends are fully coated. It's not like the edges. It's not that they're sharp. They have been like deburred, but just slightly, so that it still is flat and it's not rounded over, but they're not sharp. And I mean, it just can't wait. So I'm gonna get all the stuff I'm trying to order parts as I get them in, and as quick as I can. There's all the beautiful stark black joining plates. I don't really want to open it, but I mean, solid black plates to go with these. Iron Man red, so I need to get some silk gold to go with it. And then I guess eventually maybe do like a either order, if I can, order just a standalone MMU to go with it, and then just get the body plastic and reprint like either a silver or the gold as well. So it sounds, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to have it jamming out playing Iron Man 2. Or just since I've got a TV now on the workbench, I'm trying to get it wired in so like when I do live stream from the workbench, which I got the camera, I still got to figure out a mount because it's not working well for me. But that way I can see it on the screen, so that I could just turn on the Iron Man movie and have that be in there too. Try to maybe adjust the camera so that it gets a time lapse of the video or of the workbench plus the movie in the background. But yeah, that's kind of where I want to go with that. So yeah, that's the next bigger project. But the interseating project right before then, the other like 5, I still got to cut this stupid panel board because I don't have a table saw, and my scroll saw doesn't cut it literally. Plus I want it to be a nicer edge, but I don't have a lot of woodworking stuff. I really don't have much tools stuff to begin with other than screwdrivers and stuff for the printers. So me cutting down the panel board to the right dimension and with a smooth edge is going to be interesting. Hey, if you got some ideas, little mods that would go on a Perseverance, I'm happy to look for it. I mean, that's what I've been looking for, is any like, you know, obviously do the minimal stuff that makes it functional, and then anything that I can get away with adding, a little custom flair, but it doesn't mess up the unit in any way. I don't mind adding. I think it'll be pretty cool. I was actually trying to see about either an Iron Man little head or something that kind of looked like the blaster or the chest piece to go like on the backside of the motor, so as it's extruding, that's spinning around. Thought maybe that might be a little cool, but so yeah, real quick about the camera for the overhead. So I don't know. Let me see if I can actually find. Where is my? Oh, I thought I signed into Thingiverse. Okay, so this camera arm was really like a phone. You put the magnets in here and you can magnetize your phone. That arm set, it's floated around quite a while, and it overall was like the easiest. See if I can pull it up Thingiverse so I'm not like just talking and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, so I was trying to print it. It works great. Yeah, there's a few too many unlocks, you know, to move the whole arm around versus just buying it. But I mean, when I only need to spend what, maybe pushing it $2 worth of plastic to build the whole big arm versus trying to find, you know, the metal arm for 25 bucks, get it shipped, whether free shipping or not, or a resale shop around here that's got like those old arm desk lamps that I could hijack the arm part for and do that. I mean, so I'm willing to put up with that piece, but you know. And of course, I can't find the stupid thing. Steven the Lightspeed. I really need to go through my Thingiverse and like delete. Man, I've got so much stuff on here. Oh, and of course, it's the wrong category. So yeah, I've got a big ways on the ANET evolution for the kids. So I've got all the framing, or excuse me, the connector pieces. I've got to finish the 2020 extrusion prints. And then print up the hot end part, and then I just need the bolts, which I just put on order. So, well, excuse me, I got to submit the order to Ziltech. So I guess as soon as I submit it to them, then they can send it. Or I guess if Josh wants to get that part of it, because it's just the button head screws and the T-nuts. That's all I know that I'm missing. The rest of the stuff, I think I've got everything else, so we can put that together. But in order to print the extrusions, I've got to get the frame on here done because a lot of the extrusions are too tall. That with only a 20 by 20 and the way that the top part of that delta turns, it's too tall for my console in the back there. So yeah. All right. So it wasn't in the things in the workshop one. Of course, I got to get over to start working on the palette, the original palette that I have. I've done a couple of test runs, but then I just kind of got distracted by all these other projects. Printable motor stands. Oh, monitor stands. Huh? That would be interesting. This is so irritating. I wonder if I even saved it. Maybe like looking in a needle in a haystack and not even find what I'm looking for. Let's see. Camera stuff. There we go. Copy. Peace. All right. There we go. That's the one I'm looking at. So I've already got the base, which I'm going to print like 2 more to go up on the workbench. I've already got one that's pretty close to center. I'm going to put one on the far end of each end. That way I can have an R, or like, because you only have to move like the one nut and then this whole thing slides out pretty easy, and it rotates on that hinge. So if I do that, then I could move my camera, or my overhead camera that I'm still tweaking, to go from left, middle, or right, depending on what I'm doing, pretty easy. But then I've already got another set to go under the desk. But I got to figure out how to mount that camera too, so that it'll point at the printers that are underneath the desk here. But then I'm thinking I might do the right one to actually hold the video camera, so that I already have a kind of a higher angle for when I do the tabletop recording, which I'm kind of doing now, but kind of getting distracted by that too. But yeah, so this is the problem. This piece right here, and then the next piece, right? That's what you would normally put the magnet, and then you lock it in, and then that clips with the big ring with the teeth, goes right at the very end, and then that way you can just have your phone magnetized to it. But I need to go from this half, so I can lock it in. This piece needs to be basically a 90-degree centered that will fit a C210 webcam. So it's either this piece, like I said, gets a 90 to put the webcam directly on, or I've got to convert this to include where is it? On the other page. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I've set aside that I want to print and do all these kind of cool stuff with. My palette stuff. Where is the... Come on, next page. So this was the other one that I mean, it's already on there, is where it's the... Basically like this. I've already got this part on the camera, and I've got it to here. So the only other thing I can think of is modify to allow a ball down here, and that way it goes from the clip to a ball, and then I can just take that ball and put it right in on the current mount for the camera as is, and then it'll just work. But that way I have a lock to go, the angle, or the Z, I guess, to go with the up and down motion that will go with the arm, but then I'll have a flexible ball so I can do the tight rotation to spin it and do anything else that I need. I may have to figure out how I can do that, or somebody want to help me with those too. That'd be awesome, because this arm is really nice. I mean, yeah, you can dynamically expand it however you want, and see, that's what that piece is for. You can do it straight. I just need to print a few more pieces, and then yeah, it'll be pretty nice. But yeah, anybody got a... Oh, you know what? We need to take a quick break and do some shout outs. Okay, come on, internet. You're not that bad. Seriously? What are you doing? Okay. Didn't do this to me before. Why are only a few of you working? Huh. Sweet. All right. There's the main arm. That's the ball end. I've got that whole ball end cap set one on the big Delta, and it works great. Actually, I've got it on both of my Deltas, and it works great. But then you have to have so many of the locking rings. I know I'm saying this, and you guys can't see me, but you'll need like the push down lock rings that go on it. These different rings, and then they basically lock it in with the system. No, that's not what I want you to do. So that they go right here on the each adjoining piece. Now, while this, you can do pretty good angles. You're limited by how it connects to the frame, and so this basically was only set up with either this little one with tiny screw holes, this for a Prusa, or for an extrusion that just kind of like hangs over it and like balances the weight. I can't really attach it to the 2x4s that are part of the workbench, so that's kind of why I went with the other one. So it'd be more secure, and I don't have to worry about it falling. But this one's still not a bad one either. I like it. Plus, it's just the few, basically it's two parts: your extension and a lock ring, and then you can make it however long you want. Same with like this. I mean, there's three pieces that you really need. You need an arm with the screws, arm without the screws, and there's a short and a long, and then the screws themselves, and then that's it. And then you can make it however long, short that you want, which is really cool. And then that's the base with the long screw, and it prints real easy. Like I said, I like the magnetic base. Just wish I would have looked at it before I printed it so I could change the size of the magnets. But I need batteries for both my calipers, which I haven't gone and purchased. I need to do that tomorrow. I can close out some of these projects. I need to see how I can cut the panel board, hook it all up, all that jazz. But yeah. Let's see if it'll do. All right, so there's part of the live cam. But yeah, it's coming down from the top. It's hard to get the focus in, but at least I'll start having a top-down view. There's the palette in the top of the screen that's on the floor. I need to fix. Well, I need to actually like just start using it. And still, I don't understand why this is not. Okay, well, there goes another one. Why? I'm trying to see if I can figure out why none of these being in the group, that's what's causing us to like not know how to go, oh, here's how you search, pull up all the stuff like I used to. Why are you doing that? It's just the end mounts. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, here. Let me so I've already got quite a bit of the arm done, and like I said, then you drop the master pin when it's on the base, and then it's the one follow screw here. That'll lock it in, and then each one you just loosen, and then you get it where you want it. Tighten it back down, and it holds pretty well. So what I'm doing is right here at the very end, I can put this style or any of the other files that does it, but basically it's going to go like that. But then if we can make it where instead of the disc, it's the ball, so then I can just take that part of it and then just snap it onto the ball end right there. And then that'll give me, that way I don't have to redo this whole part to begin with. Or I mainly just need like this in place of the disc. That's basically it. I'm just not really good at modeling still. I was trying on the hot end for the E3D, I mean for the Tronxy E2 cooler piece that I made, but I can do that decently well in Tinkercad, but then I was limited on like the fillets and excuse me, chamfers and however else you truly call the names. I guess I moved it probably back over there, but yeah, that was kind of the. I do appreciate it, Sean. Finally found my Cyclops mixing heat break. When I moved over here, I don't know how I lost it, but yeah, couldn't find it for quite a while. So I finally found that, so I can try to finish putting that back together. Ugh. I still don't like the Chimera Pet Fang version. I mean, this part fits in, I mean, beautifully well, but it's all this under part and the back mounting that I can't get it onto that thing right that drives me nuts. So I was trying to design my own, and it's like everything I do, basically I'm rebuilding almost the exact same thing and then only changing just the back plate because it's got that extra lip right here, and it needs to be just flat, but then the screw holes don't line up, so it's like that one's just a drawn out project that just gets me frustrated more and more. I mean, I would say I would just put it back to a standard E3D clone and just be done with it. That way it prints. But at the same time, I paid the money for the 32-bit board and the mixing extruder head. I might as well use it, but that mount was not made for how short the mixing Chimera head is. So that's where I'm running into all my problems. So it's one of the many, many tasks. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't. I'm surprised this thing is actually still working and working kind of decent. Okay, so I have Streamlabs chat open. But it doesn't connect, even though it knows that I'm online. That's funny. What happens if I close it again? I don't know. YouTube is acting weird. So that's showing the correct captions in it. Okay. That video. Change anything on it. Oh, good. 40% of my traffic today is from notifications. It's good. So at least it's putting out notifications. Yeah, I know. I mean, well, it's not so much the. Okay, so here's the deal. When I bought the E2 kit, the SKRs weren't really a thing yet. They were still very, very, very beta phase. I've had this kit for a while. So it was one of the first, like, first gen 32-bit boards. It came from Tronxy, and it was offered as a full, I got the board, the extra stepper motor, and the hot end unit so that I could print. Well, that hot end unit was not a mixing. It had the Y adapter in the heat break or the cold zone. but it wasn't set up right. Mine was missing the liner in the throat because they cut it wrong. So by the time I finally fixed it, I could get it to work, but it was very, very temperamental. And then I found out that they were willing to help me fix the nozzle because they kept putting on their documentation that it was a mixing one. I said, well, that's not what I got. So worked out a deal where I could get the mixing nozzle, but it was just just the hot end mixing nozzle piece. It uses the same heater cartridge. Everything else is fine. I just don't have a proper way of mounting it because the original mix head or dual color head that they gave me was like almost 2.5 times longer overall body. So the mounting holes were perfect to get it below that bottom wheel. And now it's too short. So I'm having to come up with something. But there's not a lot of that plate, that design that also have a Chimera. So I'm kind of asked out. I haven't found too many what you call it, CR10 Chimera, because a lot of the mount for this is really close to the same design as a CR10 metal plate. So that's kind of where I was getting the pet fang, but then like I didn't have the big 40mm fan. I only had a 30, so that's why I started to redesign it. But then I didn't really like the bottom undercut right here, because then it was like it still raised it too high versus what I needed for the wheel. But then the biggest port was just having this big lip that I can't wrap it around because then it offsets so much that none of the holes line up. So it was like, that's why I just tried to start building my own, and I got pretty far. Don't get me wrong, but it's taking so long to get that plus all the other stuff. Like I haven't even been able to enjoy my Alien 3D boxes because I keep getting distracted by all these other things, and like I want to do every project. Now I've got them stacked. It's like so irritating, and I just want to get it done. But anyway. Ooh. Well, one of my first gifts to myself should be leaving here soon. Coolness. So I finally gave in, and I know I've got all these projects going. Come on, open up. So bam. Look at that price. That is not bad for a 50 by 65 centimeter 3000 milliwatt laser. I know it's like one more thing that I'm adding to all of it, but so hopefully that shows up here soon. I saw the email pop up that it shipped. Hey, baby. Can I get some more drink, please? I know. Oh. I think that's the UPS. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, looks like I'm getting trolled. That's awesome. Well, at least I'm getting, you know, some attention. Okay. I mean, I'm not one, but that's good to know that, you know, I mean, need to be banned. Perfectly fine. All right. Up, Kit. Hmm. Just wish I could figure out like the way that the new YouTube thing is set up. Like, makes it hard to find anything. Ah, there we go. All right. I mean, it's okay. Let's see. That's good to know. I mean, at least you're honest with yourself. Pretty cool that, you know, want to go towards someone that, you know, That's okay. I mean, you got reported to YouTube. Comments got recorded. I mean, I'm adult enough that I can handle it. So I don't know what type of stuff you think you're doing by doing that. I mean, that's just wasting your time because I'm broadcasting. Whether you're here or not, I'm gonna broadcast. So, and this was just a hangout, and even if it wasn't, you're not interrupting my time. Oh, all good. But anyway, so yeah, back to the normal craziness. Yeah, I mean, like when I first started, it really bothered me. You know, like I would like get really, I don't know if amped up would be the right word. I mean, it would get me like I was stressing about it. So I was like, I don't want other people to see this and think that I'm okay with it, and like I was really losing my mind. And one of my buddies was like, "It's going to happen. It's the internet, you know. It just there's just those kind of people that are out there. You can't do anything about it, so don't stress about it. There's nothing you could possibly do to stop them." So now I'm to the point where normally I would catch it a lot faster if Streamlabs was fully working like it's supposed to. But since it's OBS, you know, a lot of my like moderator tools are like you have to go to the web page to get it to do it, and it doesn't like it wasn't even showing me the dots so I could do anything. But now that my regular chatbot is back up, I can just go click click, and I'm like way easier. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so I'm hoping that laser engraver comes in soon. I've got to add it into my tracking. Yeah, I hope that's not right because it's saying it's previewing expected delivery date to be like in, see, that'd be 10, 11, 12 more days coming from LA. I don't think that's right. But it does say that it's only been marked as shipped, not actually processed shipping. But anyway, so that should be here soon, and then we can play around with that. I want to. I've already looked at it, and it's got not beagle bone. Oh, okay, so there it is. Wow, if that's the case, it's saying it might be here Friday the 4th. Wow, if that's the case, then we will do a live stream build of it. I don't know how much we can actually burn because I don't want to fill my the shop with smoke. I mean, I know I got a window right there, but I don't have like a good fan to like blow all that out. So if that's the case, hell, we'll do a live build and at least test the motion. See if I can do it on like that low power mode where you can focus the laser and all that stuff. If we can, then we'll move it around and do that a bit. And then I've already planned some upgrades for it. I don't even have it. I already got it. So I've already been looking on some of the stuff because it's got cheapy acrylic feet that are just a thin acrylic panel. The bolt on the front edge, and that's what raises it off the table. I have a box fan. It's just this window is a 3-section window. The middle section doesn't do anything, and the two sides are too thin to do like a normal fan. Like it's all my fans are too big for that. I mean, about the most that I could hope would be get like one of the window fans, the actual like real window fans, turn it tall, and then just put some, you know, spacer between the top of that and the edge of the window so that it'll push it out right like that. But I do plan on building a case so that like I can put the in there, lift open the door, put out what I need, close it, and then everything's enclosed with an exhaust port going to a window, or if I take it outside. But that way I can put the clear acrylic, not clear acrylic, the green acrylic window on top, so you can look in and see what's going on, and you don't have to have the glasses because everything else is enclosed. The only issue I have with that is I'm trying to find cheap local, if I can find local, of the right type of that acrylic that I can use that's the right wavelength. So if anybody's got any ideas, that'd be awesome. Because the kids are like, you know, I said it was kind of like a wood burning kit. They've been stressing out, going, I want to use it. I want to do stuff. But it's already using, it's not beagle bone. It's the other B one that's like for the CNC lasers and stuff. But it is just running off of a custom board. It's using Arduino Nano and 2-stepper motors. Basically, is all it really is. And it's already got. I've already seen quite a few people with that type of board that said they've just flashed Gerbil on it, and then they actually hooked up Octoprint to that to help do the relay. But then I found another program that was saying that it basically would direct onto the Pi. I think it's the Linux CNC. I don't know for sure, but so if anybody's got any suggestions of that stuff, that'd be pretty cool. Because yeah, I mean, and I've got spare printer boards that I could use if need be. Like I don't have to use that, from my understanding. I mean, if I want to do like just a Marlin derivative, you know, so like I've got this. Come on, focus. And of course, it doesn't want to focus. MPK board. Let's see, it's a. Man, my eyesight is horrible. That's an AT Mega 256 or 2650, excuse me. Yeah, so it's got a decent sized chip. I've got a couple of these long Melzi boards. Some were the Tronxy branded ones, some are the generic ones. Foam board with some of the free designs from Flight Test. I've never heard of them. What is that, to like do your own like DIY RC planes? Look them up right now. RC planes, quadcopters. Nice. Okay. That's pretty neat. F-104 Starfighter. Free plans. I'll have to check them out. Right, so That was cool. She just launched the plane by hand. It uses like like the dollar store foam board. That whole video, I thought it was gonna have like what it like how you do it. Now that is neat. Yeah, but I mean, you could get probably some spray enamel, spray epoxy stuff that like real light. That shouldn't add like too much more weight that you can probably just do right on top of that. So, I mean, really, that's just the foam board with paper. So if you just put something to kind of waterproof the paper a little bit, I'm sure it wouldn't add like too much more weight. What were you looking at, like just in general, or was there a specific one that you were wanting to like look at? Yeah, very true. Jeez, that's expensive though for these kits. Okay, so I'm guessing like this is like this is for the true first kit, so you have all of your stuff, but then what you just basically change out the body and a few other parts here or there depending on like what one you're trying to do. That this says it's only $25. I'm guessing that that's just like for the body. And then okay, yeah, so you're not adding the battery, you're not adding the kit, not adding the power pack. Ooh, they got STEM series. FT long easy. See if I can find that. Oh, okay. Well, guide me. We're am I like completely just in the wrong stuff? Isn't it for the DIY planes? Oh, probably under 3D printing, huh? Or is this like, no, this is their 3D printers. That's not what I want. Okay. You're in the store, different spot for the plane. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Free DIY plane. Okay. Long, easy. There we go. I mean, am I supposed to download all of them, or? That looks like the whole plane right there. I'll get with the different codes on the download here. Ah, gotcha. Well, but that's pretty cool. I mean, wingspan's going to be 19 inches overall. That DIY looks. Uh, I'm horrible at like converting 20-inch to millimeter.
That would be 508 millimeters.
30-inch to millimeter.
The answer is
762. Okay. So if that's all the case, so that's 508 by 762. So it'd be just shy of the 508, but 762. I mean, about 100 millimeters short. Like to take like one foam board piece. That's pretty neat. So if I'm reading that right, so this was, he uses the poster board to make the template file from regular sheet of paper, and then turns around and then puts that template file on the foam board and then cuts it out. So if I could essentially get it to do 100% scale of these PDF page, get it to convert that to an image like the Gerbil can, convert, and then just say like trace the outline or trace these the different little parts, then yeah, if the laser's turned down enough so it doesn't like melt it, but it cuts through, yeah, you could do a direct like full outline cut directly from the files. That's pretty neat. I think I'm gonna have to try that. Maybe not, if it comes in Friday, I'm not like I'm gonna do that on Saturday. We're gonna do some basic stuff on Saturday if that comes in. But oh, okay, what's the difference? Oh, the all-in-one. Okay. So well, I guess what is it? Is FSTATB? I mean, I get, if we're gonna do if to do this, it'd be the all-in-one, but what do the other ones stand for? Anything in particular? Ooh, man. Yeah, that's going to be interesting because a lot of these sheets of paper, like say for instance, this wing, these two pieces, full 8.5 by 11, so that's 22 inches, which is longer than the cutting area in one direction. But like even if you're not doing per sheet or different sizes of foam board. Gotcha. Okay. So this is just the raw, so you do it yourself to get the full size template. Or is this all of them together? Essentially, if I took this page and got it to scale correctly, because these are 1 inch markers, so if I got that to scale correctly, and let's just for argument's sake say that like this line right here, just before this wing and just before like the outer edge, if I could get all of that to fit projectionally, within the build area of the thing, then I should just be able to say burn or cut, and it goes and just like say like do the whole outline of all of these parts, and then you'd be done, right? Oh, the keys are in second, third, and fourth. Okay. Yep, there's the tile A, tile B. Oh, I see. If you did it 4 big versus that versus the full size. Okay, so full size 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's tiles A, and then to be tile B. Half. All right, so that's a full wing. Just 4 sheets of paper. So if you could make just this bottom piece by doing the other one where like that would fit on one whole build area and that would fit on one whole build area, but at the right scaling. Oh, did the stream go bad? Oh, looks like it's coming back. Yeah, so like for this one, it looks like you would have to do it right. You would want B1, B3 on one whole print or one solid cut. B2 because they're all separate pieces. That could be a separate cut, and B4 could be all separate cuts. But then this one's also wanting some 16th inch plywood. But if that's the right scale, then you could drop those and see or laser cut that. I think it could do 16th inch plywood pretty easy. That is a pretty cool kit. I'm gonna definitely have to look at like this that flyer one, the free flyer. Yeah, the easy glider. I'm gonna have to test that out. I know that's a big one, but I mean, at the same time, if I can do that, or find another, you know, what does the FT racer look like? Oh, the boys would probably love that. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. That's not too bad. That is pretty neat though. So yeah, there's some stuff that I want to test out. Like with it's supposed to be a pretty decent laser. So I mean, like some of the things that I'm already looking at. Yeah, I mean, so that's just the acrylic pieces to hold everything together. Besides the 2020 and 2040 extrusions, whole bunch of wheels. But there's the motherboard. So that's it. The Arduino Nano 2-stepper motors. They say they can run Gerbil pretty easy. But yeah, so like the thing that I'm not really liking that just the tinkerer in me wants to deal with is figure out about this center plate, how I can extend the side plate to allow a cable chain. So I can go off of the middle so it stays above everything. That way, as it passes back and forth, I don't have to worry about drooping wires. But then on the same thing, once it goes to the motor, have a cable chain on that side. And then based off of the motor position and the tubing, or not tubing, the frame, to maybe take like, I may have to do a wire extension or whatever, but to take one of the motor wires and go through the extrusion and then hook into the cable chain that's over here that will, go over to the board, because that's, I understand they put it there for that simplicity, but it would make sense to be like off to the side, or on a bottom like mountable plate that you could then have the wires all the way out of the way so they never have to worry about getting caught. But like I said, these cheapy little corner acrylics, yeah, I definitely want to make sure I got an enclosure. But I mean, it is using the hard metal corner brackets, but to do like a little bit bigger legs, something that's more than just like a little edge of an acrylic, so that like there's no chance of it vibrating. I've already seen some that I can use the same two bolts, but it puts it on a leg extension that I can then screw down into the frame, that eventually I'll build anyway. That way it'll be hard mounted and I don't have to worry about it shifting, losing square, none of that. So I've already got some formulated plans. Like I said, the biggest thing that I haven't been able to find yet, of course, I mean, I only just started looking too, is where I can get the green acrylic that would be just like the goggles or the safety glasses, you know what I mean, to be that same wavelength, or if it's a different color that covers a broader range, I don't really care. Whatever makes it safe. So the idea is to have, a pop top lid with the big viewing area, and that's what you'll look through to see everything. But otherwise, it'll be hard enclosed, bottom and side, so you don't have to worry about it reflecting off anything or anything like that. Yeah. Because I worry about if I'm going to put it in the enclosure like that. To me, I would be more worried about the acrylic, flexing, cracking, and then I have nothing to put back together. So I'm kind of wanting to like scan those in and do direct printed replacements, like almost immediate, or shortly after, test building and make sure everything runs like it's supposed to. But that way, if anything breaks, then I've already got replacement parts that I can keep it going, or just reprint a piece, put it right back on, and then I'm done. But yeah, I don't like the way that they're mounting the laser to one side of the acrylic with like almost no adjustment, and on the back side is the motor with the wheels, but then you have to sandwich it together and lock it in place to go over that extrusion. Well, then what if something happens to the laser? You literally would have to, at that point, take everything apart just to get to the laser. And if you notice on the laser, the big control box, they don't have that pictured anywhere other than like here, where it's not even on the machine. But they don't show that laser goes straight to the control board. They don't show the intermediate board. So it's like, okay, so why don't you have that big box somewhere around here? You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that that I know it's going to have to be dealt with when it gets there. Some blind joints. Is that where you're taking the screw like at the tapped end of the beam and then slide it onto the rail and then tighten through? Is that what we're talking about? Just dealing with all the cable management of the computers, you know. I mean, the printers. I kind of, you know, I want to make sure that if I do this, well, when it shows up, that I would want it to last. You know, like I want to make some things modular. So like say I want to completely change out this control board for a printer control board because I've already seen a couple people posting a Marlin derivative that's, you know, got things cut out more for CNC stuff, even though Marlin can handle a laser. But you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about hot end temperatures and different things that just don't make sense for standard printer. But that would be kind of nice. Although if the little nano does exactly what it needs to do, I mean, I don't really need to change it, and that would be smaller footprint. But at the same time, if that means I can put a full extra one of these spare printer boards and a spare screen that I have, and I could make it completely autonomous, or at least have room that maybe I can put, you know, a Pi Zero with Octoprint, because I'm not going to use, you know, webcam, or I don't need to use webcam, you know, but just to so I can send the data. Then I could use that Arduino Nano for something else. And I have another spare one. Because right now, the primary Nano that I have is already going in this case with the screen. It's like, got the pocket for it. But it's for that Alien 3D box of the temperature humidity sensor. I found a really nice frame. And I'm going to be mounting it like right up here by the filament shelf. So if I don't need to use that, I can just use a Marlin board. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Be something else to play with and learn. Like I said, you know, if I made the attachment of the laser on a modular slide, then that way I can reuse that frame for basically anything at that point. You know, if I wouldn't necessarily be able to do it for pen plotting because it doesn't have a Z motion unless I hijack, you know, by using a Marlin board, hijack one of the other stepper motors instead of putting it, you know, one on each side. Just do one side and, you know, but then, you know, you have to worry about it doing that weird cantilever stuff. But either that or just buy you know, another motor and do a whole add-on, run another wire. But autonomous Johnny 5. I'm hoping to find. I want to try to find some like outlet stores around here that maybe have almost like just a metal cabinetry shelf thing, you know, almost like a pull-out bread drawer. It hopefully would be, and it'd probably be more expensive than this thing, but that would have been ideal because this laser is not strong enough to really go through metal, but it can burn wood. So if I had a metal enclosure, then, you know, I don't have to worry about, okay, if the laser got stuck on for some reason, I need to get over to it. I don't have to worry about it like burning the wood. So that'd be kind of nice if I could find something cheap that this could drop in. Like I said, be almost like a tool chest, you know, with the whole top lid moving over. That way you can drop it in, cut out a little window for the acrylic. It'll be the same eye protection, so you don't have to wear the glasses. You can just look at it through the big opening and see practically everything. So that'd be pretty cool. Have to figure out something. Yeah. See if they got any other good flash deals. Not that I can buy anything right now, but four-channel relay, unbeatable at 250. 5-volt 4-channel. Well, that would run directly off of the Pi, but I don't have anything else that's 5-volt. Everything else is either 12 or 24. Wonder if that would have been the right size magnets for the phone holder. 6x1. What did he say you? Six by 5x1. That doesn't make sense. If it's a round circle, how is it 6x5? Well, I do have a silhouette already for vinyl cutting. I mean, my wife has that. I don't use it. I let her use it. So, and we've got the adapter to go with a pen, though we've never bought the pens. And then I just got the automatic cutting wheels, so I can just have it auto sense based off of the material. It auto sets the number for us, and then it'll start cutting. Got a lot of vinyl typed stickers already. She's made a bunch of paper crafts, all kind of stuff. So I mean, it's not like I really need this laser, you know, to do pen. It just thinking outside the box, like that I could. Most likely, the modular part of it will just be if I upgrade to a bigger laser, then I could still use the frame until I outgrow the frame, which at that size, I don't know if I will. You know, I mean, the most I can think of is swapping out parts of the frame to make it more rigid, you know, but then 2040 on all of that Y. So it's a 2020, 2020, and then 3 2040s. So you got your both Y and your X gantry is a 2040, but only your X frame front and back are 2020. So I don't know if they would even need any more stiffening, to be honest. Although that's weird why they didn't just include 2 more 2040s. mean, it would have made the kit like simpler. It would take up 2 more rail rooms length of the box, but I mean, you'd only be looking at 3 of these bars instead of 1 bar and then 2 half the size. You know what I mean? Like that. So if you stack these two, or side by side or vertical, I mean, it wouldn't take up that much more space than just putting 3 of these bars all together and then 2 of these bars together. And if all of them are ended up being the same, that's even less in material. Each 5 lengths of bat, put it in the case, and you're done. Simple, cheap. I don't know, but anyway. If they have any other, these are engraving machines. Yeah, I wanted to get one of these 3018 little mini CNC routers. Hey, look at that. I get a 3000 milliwatt. But this is the A3 Pro. It's got a little bit bigger stuff, but I mean, look at that. $199. And $70 less. Right next to it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure this is probably better. So I'm probably gonna get exactly what I paid for it at $129. My only thing is, as long as the laser works, everything else on there, stepper motors. I mean, I've got a spare stepper motor, or I can, file a claim that they gave me some shitty stepper motors. But the board itself, I've got alternates that I could do easily. So if that like is a limiting factor, then that's fine. So I mean, I don't know if it would justify going that high in price. Normally it's $399. Holy moly. So yeah, same type of board. 3 stepper motors. A couple different pieces. Well, that would have been nice to have it all like in a little case like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's almost the same exact board. But I like their belt attachment right there. I mean, I understand it's a clear acrylic, but I mean, it's the screw going down to lock it in, but you put the belt through this little slot and then you pull up and it like creates that extra tension. But I looked in the assembly instructions on the other one, is this one, the one I've got, you put the belt under, then you slide a nut in, and then you take the screw and you screw through it so that it puts downward pressure into the extrusion against the belt. Yeah. Because I kind of like that rounded, belt path that they're doing, where it goes from inside the extrusion, just under the wheel, up over the motor with that tension, right back down, and then it gets pushed back down. Because that's a lot how the MPCNC looks like. What's up? How's it going, Shulm? Long time me no stream. And see, you could even like adjust the frame like that too. Instead of the 2020 rail being up at the top, you could make the L bracket this direction so that it sits lower, but with this part, still being high enough that it doesn't clip on anything. And I think that might be a good deal, but I think they got little rubber feet down here. But that's what I'm saying, it'd be nice. I'm going to maybe just play around with some different 2040, 2020 feet extension poles like we do on some of the frames of the printers, because that'd be, you know, nice to have a little bit more sturdy piece than just a little edge of acrylic. That cable management was done really nice. I just don't like that center part right here where it hangs down. That's kind of why I'm thinking, you know, I could do motor extension wires. That's not a problem. But if I had it where it like attached right here, and like say you put an extension arm so that it would go across and then loop under for a cable chain, or even just going from here to here and putting like some of the, like I said on the MPCNC, like your measuring tape, and just like cut a section so that it, you know, you get it to do that arc like that. Just have it posted on the tube thing, so as it goes, it keeps that pressure up and out. But like most of all these, they're all using like, they're all basing it off of the Elks maker. Yeah, Ben box, that's the one. So that's what's already on mine. But yeah, everybody is saying, you know, use the Elks maker or just get a generic Gerbil controller. Hmm. Okay. Shh. So this is saying it can, if I'm reading this right, that it can, even this lower watt laser. Obviously paper, balsa is probably not that hard, but it's thinner woods, some fabrics, plastics, leathers. But that'd be more just like engraving. Foam paper, anodized aluminum, I'm sure is probably just like engraving. This is not the one I'm getting. Just looking. Oh, that would have been nice to have those type of wheels. But yeah, I like this motor path or belt path. I think that's going to be a good deal. But again, if anybody knows any links to get like, you know, that green glass, acrylic, whatever that stuff is. Of course, all this is written in a different language. There you go. like a TIE fighter, or not a TIE fighter, with the Y wing or Y bomber, Y wing. So that would the bottom motor be your horizontal X, and they're making that top motor side, yeah, side rotation of your Y board on the side. Takes up less room. I don't know, like that just definitely have to cut slow. Make sure that like didn't start rocking, doing some wobble in there. That just looks like a bad situation about to happen right there. Cables drooping everywhere. Purple, blue, blue. What color? Or if I remember right, it said it was 450 nanometer. Yep, 450 nanometer. Okay, so uh, protective acrylic. See what I mean? Right there, the mouse just did a double click. When I did a right click and then a single left click on the thing, it jumped it. Well, that's not bad. 12 by 12 sheet for only $17. You can even cut it with your new 2.8 watt laser kit and engrave your logo or warning signs. It does look pretty nice though. I mean, I would do that. Put a, etch the danger laser radiation warning right on the lid for that orange glass. That's pretty cool. Oh, let's see. So they do 12 by 12, 24, 24, 24, 36. 6.5 by 6.5 in the glass window. Although I don't need glass, but light blue is too high. So this one, $450. Really and truly, you shouldn't use that either. It's not falling in within the range of any of those. Not the rose. Really even light green. It fits within the orange. No unclear. You do the OD like that right there. Dark green. Okay, so what would their holy moly, $194. I mean, I know this is like premium quality, but jeez. Yeah, that's a little out of my price range. I don't know what I'm searching for. Reset all of it. Ow. Or by price. But still, like the cheapest would be 49. So I would say JTech. They'd probably be the the best thing that I'd need to do. I mean, everything else was saying OD +5. I don't know if OD +3 is even better. I mean, covers the full range. It gives me a little bit higher power that I can do without really too many issues. City, Texas. Shipping would be easier. Straight from the U.S. and just a couple states away. Oh man, I'm exhausted. But yeah, gonna be the new toy to play with. And even though that right there says it's only $2.99, I put in my address and then it was like it's actually $5.99. Still only like $6, but I mean still. But I do have a 14-day refund or replacement, so if something goes wrong with it. Yeah, we're just catching up on some of the policies here, just reading. But all right, let's do one final check, see if it's actually going to play nice tonight. Why it picks those two random channels. How are these? Don't understand. What it's trying to do, why it's not. That doesn't want to run any of them. Why? That's the whole page. Shouldn't be doing that. Should be able to just... Oh, so it... Not that it's not working. The website itself is having some issues. I wonder what happened. So it's not me that did it. Some people are coming back up, some people aren't. I wonder why. Oh, that kind of sucks. I was gonna, go back to my normal, here's everybody's standings, show kind of what's going on in the community here, but apparently it doesn't want to give me that info. That is very strange. Oh well. Alright, guys, well, I know normally I run to 10, but I got a pretty pounding headache and I'm kind of out of stuff to talk about. I know we were just hanging out and all, but seems like it's getting kind of quiet anyway, so yeah. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm glad OBS is actually working decent. Can y'all tell me? Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Got some new projects coming up. I'm gonna try to be, putting out a little more information. Got any comments? Put them down below, and guess we'll see everybody next Saturday. All right, guys. Thanks.